Fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, use, reporting, teaching, and parody which doesn't infringe the copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
We gon' do it for the land without a blemish. Looks right beats. He is the land without blemish. Wicked shepherds pretend to be YAHAWAH. Best repent and then ready upon the morrow. Cash your care cause he knows your wants and your sorrows. Read the word and speak the word. Get it.
Okay, now let's go back to Revelation, the 9th chapter.
Revelation 9 and 7. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold. And their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women. And their teeth were as the teeth of lions.
Right, so this is John seeing the dog fighters, guys like the Red Baron, all right, fighting in the sky, and he saw the men inside of the plane, and he saw their faces. But then he went back and forth to where you had the German military in formation, and you had Kaiser Wilhelm, which we're going to read later about. He's the angel of the bottomless pit. They showed him and they showed his dignitaries around him, and what John saw, he saw them with these helmets on their head, but John said they were a crown, and that's what it was, because you had to have a certain rank to wear that helmet. And there was a TV show called Hogan's Heroes where they showed you that a close-up of that helmet with the spike coming out. But you had men that was of certain ranks that had that helmet with the spike coming out. But then you had high-ranking German officers that had this thing that looked like the hair of a woman. So what John was seeing, he was seeing the dog fighters. Then he saw the actual battle of Verdun. He saw the battle of Verdun, all right? Because it mentions the battle of Verdun as far as many other battles in the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. When it speaks about, behold, there was a red horse. So now I'm going to go to this last clip right here. Hold up. You can see it right there. You can see the crown on their head with the hair coming out as the hair of the woman. Read that again, Ak.
It says, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions.
See it? The hair of woman. And this is Kaiser Wilhelm with a helmet with an eagle. Remember the eagle? That's Esau's symbol. So it's plain, man, that this is talking about World War. Look at that. In formation, the hair of woman. So this is what John, the Revelator, actually saw. There it goes again. And this basically is a old German song, and I believe it's entitled Wunderbar Zeiten, which basically means like wonderful times or good times. Just give me that. Don't worry about it. Just give me that. Speak for it.
Right, and you can clearly see that what the scriptures are saying, you know, and what you have to understand is that when John was on the island of Patmos, when he saw all these visions, the Most High, he basically wrote what he saw and what he understood in the terms of his day. You know, because back then they didn't have terms like airplane, you know, and tanks and none of that stuff. So he had to explain the vision and the terminology that was available to him back then. You know, so that's why when you read the book of Revelation, you'll see the word locust. And you know, a locust is shaped a certain way. A locust doesn't have the head of a man. They don't have teeth like lions. But you have to understand that it's talking about right, they don't have tails as a scorpion. So the scorpion tail represents a machine gun. The teeth of the lion represents the bullets that were coming out of the machine gun. The head, the head of a man was because in the plane it looked like the plane had a head of a man. It looked like a locust with a head of a man. So you know it's not talking about an actual locust. You know, so it's talking about these planes, you know, and everything is broken down in there. You know, it's the Spirit of the Lord that opened your mind to see it. You know, so you're seeing it here. So he saw all of this, you know. So that's how we know we're in the end of the world, because what the Lord YAHAWASHI showed John on the island of Patmos was the end of the world. The things that were going to happen to know for surety that we were in the end of the world, and that he was soon on his way to come back.
That's right. Now let's read on.
This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 8. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to the battle.
Right. Now, the sound of chariots, the sound of the wings was like read it again.
It says, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle.
Now, last night what I did was I Googled the word World War I dog fighters sound or sound effects, and they'll send you to a site where you can get actual sound effects, right? So I went, you have to pay for this sound effect, but you can sample it. So I click play, and you hear a woman say, this is a sample sound effect. But when you hear that sound effect, it sounds like horses and chariots running to battle. Those planes made loud noises. Now you see a plane go by, just like you have a car, you don't have a muffler on the car, that car is going to make all kind of noise. The same thing with planes. You have like a muffling system or a silencing system for the power of the engine from them planes, man. The sound of them from them planes. So the sound of them planes were loud, so you heard them coming. Go ahead.
And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tail.
We saw that earlier when in the clip, and you're seeing it now. How you had two guys in the plane, and you had one guy that was flying, operating the plane, and you had another guy, another German soldier, excuse me, that was actually manning a gun and shooting down the enemy. Go ahead.
And their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit.
Now we just showed the clip of the king of them, of the bottomless pit. That was Kaiser Wilhelm. Go ahead.
Whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue has his name Apollyon.
Right, and both those names mean destroyer, if you look it up. Go ahead.
It says, excuse me, one woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.
You haven't been servants. And first and foremost, I'm talking to you, Tahar, from Great Millstone, Gabar, Ramlad, and all the rest of you One West camps out here. You all come from the same structure and foundation of One West by teaching this doctrine, these Bible Belt ministries, right? But the main reason that we're going to kick it off with is just dealing with Revelations, the 9th chapter. Dealing with the 3 woes, woe 1, woe 2, and woe 3. And what were we deceitfully taught, Tahar? We were taught that this was the 3 world wars. That's what we were taught. That the World War 1, 2, and 3 was World War 1, World War 2, and of course World War 3, right? That's supposedly right around the corner because Trump, scratched his neck today, right? you know, they gonna make a video about that. Trump scratched his neck today, Akim, we close. That's a sign, right? No, bro. We're gonna go into the woes and actually expound on what it's actually saying versus someone who's winging it from their belly. It's funny how someone who's always criticized people about not knowing the scriptures, saying they have 100% truth, saying that we the only ones going into the breakdowns and the deep breakdowns, but you ain't break down shit. And excuse my language, but you know what? It pisses you off when you find out you've been lied to for fucking 4 to 5 to 6 years, man. It pisses you off. Especially all you guys who sent your money in there. All you guys who dedicated your time and effort to the attention of men rather than the anointed. So let's go to Revelation. You want to say something?
And here's the thing, right? Now the woes are supposed to be World War I, II, and III, but you negate 2. You say 9 is World War I, but where's World War II?
Yeah, Revelation 11 is World War II.
You never bring out World War II.
Never.
Hitler should be all up in through there, right?
Right. He should. If one is there in Revelation 9, but let's see. Let's find out, Israel. Those of you can hear. We ain't here for you clowns. Cool. Click off now. So yeah, click off. Because we not here to prove who's better than one another. We only here to prove the truth, man. Tired of being lied to, tired of being brought, you know, with false doctrines being brought to us. Tired of being persecuted for not teaching false doctrines. That's why the anger is present, because for many years you men have persecuted men for not teaching it the way you teach it. But come to find out, you ain't been teaching it how the Lord ordained it to be taught. Filthy dreamers, once again, preaching of their own bellies. Okay? You want to say something?
Yeah, and that's also why every time you will question one of these men on a doctrine that doesn't get talked about, what's the first thing they say? Oh, I gotta look into that. I ain't looked into that in so many years.
Yeah.
I know, because the last time you looked into it, you clicked on TBN, you watched one of them pork chop pastors and those prophecy club guys break it down.
Yep.
You made your notes,
Put a little melanin into it.
and that's it. There you go, there's the breakdown.
No wonder why some of them Bible Belt Edomites can be Jake. You've been watching and studying them. That's why. Come with them weak ass breakdowns, bro. And I'm sorry, man, but it pisses you off to realize you've been lied to with weak ass false breakdowns, man. Because we gonna find out if what Revelation 9 is talking about World War I versus what YAHAWASHI says. Okay?
Shalaki, but no, we ain't sorry.
Slocky, I got a scripture.
Yeah.
Psalms 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
That's right.
Do what?
Hate every false way.
Through
thy
precepts.
precepts.
Thy precepts, man. So you got to stick to the script. This is the only place you're going to find them precepts upon precepts and line upon line, man. Not from the mouth or the belly of some guy that don't even stay in your city.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Now what's crazy, right? Dealing with this World War I situation in Revelation 9, right? What we've been taught, right? Let's deal with Revelation 1 and 1 first. Let's read that first. Let's read that first.
All right, this is Revelations 1 and 1. It says, the revelation of Hamashiach Yahawashi.
Who?
Hamashiach Yahawashi.
Okay.
Which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Things which shortly shall come to pass. Cock crew. Now, they said John lived to about 80, 90 AD, right? So 70 AD already took place. Right? So, read that one more time.
All right. The revelation of Hamashiach Yahawashi, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Now, this is the revelation of Yahawashi Mashiach. It's clearly dealing with the second coming of Hamashiach Yahawashi. Okay? Read on that?
I can just finish it out.
Yeah.
It says, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
There you go. Now, talk about verse 3. This is what a lot of men fail to do.
Come. Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he that readeth. Give yourself the preeminence. Not what some man tell. When a man tells you that you can't think for yourself and you can't question the doctrine,
Yeah, there's something wrong with that.
there's something wrong with your ass. Something wrong with you, man.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that, and there's something wrong with you if you follow that shit, man.
Right. There's something wrong with you. You don't read the Bible. Blessed is he that readeth. Go ahead.
All right, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein.
There you go, written therein. Right?
Yep.
Okay? So now, let's see what's written therein. Let's go ahead and get to the money. Revelation 9th chapter.
Now this is Revelation 9 and 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto earth.
Okay. All right. So, read that one more time for me out.
All right. Revelation 9 and 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Now, dealing in context, this same angel is the same individual in verse 11, which is named as Apollyon or Abaddon, right? What Tahar has taught us was that is Kaiser Wilhelm, who was the emperor of Germany.
Absolutely.
Okay, who was actually he was a part of World War I with Winston Churchill, with Britain. Okay, he said that that's talking about Kaiser Wilhelm, Israel. Okay, this glorious elder. Well, let's see if this elder is correct, dealing with the precepts upon precepts versus extrapolation and winging it. Okay. So now it says the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. Let's deal with the star falling from heaven unto the earth. Somebody get Numbers 24:17, and somebody get Revelations 1:18. We have to deal with context. Always deal with context, man. And all the answers you need is right here within these pages. Go ahead.
Numbers 24, verse 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh.
Not soon. Go ahead.
There shall come a star out of Jacob, and scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth.
You going?
And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession.
A possession.
For
See
his,
that, right? Same thing over there, say it, right? Absolutely. Go ahead.
For his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. Violently,
right? Now, let's go to now. So now we see, we kind of got an idea. Well, not kind of. We clearly have an idea on what that star is, right? Well, let's get the confirmation. Let's see who got the key.
It's Revelation 1 and 18. It says, I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And have the keys of hell and of death.
You see that? Who has the keys of hell and death? YAHAWASHI, HaMashiach.
And it's in red.
And it's in red. So who is that star that fell from heaven? The same man that has the scepter, who was ordained to have the scepter.
I got
the same.
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 16. I, Mashiach Yahawashi, have sent my angels to testify unto you these things unto the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star.
That's not Kaiser, Tahar. Look, you can ignore it all you want, but you still gonna be exposed. Period. Okay? You can make all your weak comeback videos, but at the end of the day, you're not going to prove that that's Kaiser Wilhelm. You can't prove it because it's not in there. It's not in there, bro. Okay?
No goddamn Kaiser Wilhelm.
Right. Kaiser Wilhelm. Right? So it says, unto him was given the key of the bottomless pit. So this is clearly talking about YAHAWASHI. So now, let's go to the controversial verse 2. Because this bottomless pit has been taught to us that this is Europe.
Right.
And look, this ain't just GMS, it's all you Israelite camps. All you guys, man. All of you. We all been duped. It's time to face reality, bro. You either gonna teach it according to the Bible, or you keep being a damn social Israelite, thinking that this is just some boys club that you just, gather together and scream at white people. No, bro, the ministry is a lot more deeper than the antics and the gimmicks that you guys are pulling out here, man. But we put more emphasis on you, Tahar, because we came from under you.
And he the top elder of all Israel.
That's right, if we can receive it. No, we can't receive that shit. We can't. I can't receive that YAHAWASHI, this angel is Kaiser Wilhelm. You damn right I can't receive that. That ain't no elder of Israel. That's a vain babbler. Okay? So now, let's go to verse 2 dealing with the bottomless pit. Go ahead and read that for me, brother.
This is Revelation 9:2. It says, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace.
Right?
And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Right. Now, this man had YAHAWASHI, Mashiach, had the key to the bottomless pit. It said he opened it, right?
Right.
So it's clearly that he is letting you know that something was open, meaning that something was in time and season to transpire now.
That's right.
So now let's use the scriptures versus opinions and emotions to find out what that bottomless pit represents, because we know the scriptures deals with poetry and dark sayings and proverbs.
Right.
So now let's deal with the bottomless pit. First of all, if you look at the Greek, it's abusu, right? Abusu, right? Okay. Now let's go to Zechariah 5. And what's that? Let's start at 1. Huh?
5 and 7.
5 and 7.
Yeah, we'll see. You gotta start at 1 though. Yep.
And Zechariah 5 and 1.
Hold on, Salaki, real quick, because I do want to.
We did, yeah. It's you might as well start from 1.
Right, bottomless is abusu, right? Which means bottomless, unbounded. Remember that, unbounded, right? The abyss, the pit, the immeasurable depth. Depth, right? The immeasurable depth. Remember the word measure, okay? Immeasurable. Keep that in mind. Unbounded, and the immeasurable depth, okay? Okay, keep that in mind. That's beautiful, man. All praise to Yahweh. That's beautiful. That's beautiful how that slid right in. Now, go to Zechariah 5 and 1.
All right, this is Zechariah 5 and 1.
Let's find out what that bottomless pit is, because it's not just Europe. Well, that's Europe because, green grow in the land of Europe, so everything has to be,
no vegetation.
Right, everything has to be imported into.
Ain't got nothing to do with this.
Ain't got nothing to do with chapter 9 of Revelation, bruh. That's barbershop talk.
Right.
Y'all are Bible Belt prophets, bro. And we was guilty of that shit too. Not anymore. Go ahead.
All right, Zechariah 5 and 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
What's that flying roll? Tahar said that was a chariot. No, that's talking about the law. It's the law, man. Not a chariot. Damn. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
Remember the measurements, right? So if you see a flying roll, how do you judge the law? By measuring, by the law. Okay? What's transgressed? What's worthy unto death? A statute, what you have to do in return if something was to happen or to transpire. That's measurement. That's balancing. Okay? But keep in mind, measurement. Go ahead.
Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be
Because
cut
all
off.
Israel ain't just in America, are they?
No, scattered all over the four corners of
But
the
you know what? But if you really look at it, the ministry that's really pushed over here in America is as if America is just the main attraction. No, bro, it's not. Once again, America, like my man said, America is a little blip. Like I say, America is a pit bull on a chain leash, bro. That's it. Okay, go ahead.
Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it.
Everyone that stealeth, right? Go ahead. Oh, see, that's Esau, right? See, go to Exodus 18. He that stealeth a man, right? Nah. It said the law in verse 1. Context. It's dealing with Yasharallah.
That's right.
Stop it. We already know what y'all finna say. It ain't gonna work. You gotta come out the text. Go ahead.
For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain.
Now I said judgment shall start first where? Continue.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
Consume it. Go ahead.
Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, lift up now thine eyes and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, what is it? And he said, this is an ephah.
This is an ephah, okay? And what is an ephah? It can be considered like a basket, a measurement, right? Also, too, when you look at pit, back in Revelation, they call it a cistern or a ditch, right? Something that you can cast something into.
Like a well.
Okay? You can cast something into it. They ain't talking about no damn Europe. And you can debate us on it, man. Any one of you guys, any one of you One West guys can debate us on it, man. Or just be quiet and just, well, what are you going to teach now? What are you going to teach now? Okay? Go ahead.
All right. And he said, this is an ephah that goeth forth. He said, moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth.
This is their resemblance through all the earth, right? And what's the resemblance?
Okay. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead.
There was lifted up a talent of lead, right? Something was opened, correct? Just like that angel, that star that fell from heaven opened the bottomless pit, right? That ephah was just open. Okay? Pay attention. Keep up. Go ahead.
All right. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah.
Who's the woman? Israel, Yasharallah, sitting in the midst of the ephah, right? Go ahead.
Okay. And he said, this is wickedness, and he cast it into the midst of the ephah.
This is wickedness, and he cast it into the midst of the ephah, right? Where the woman was, right? So in Revelation 9, when that pit was open, that bottomless pit was open.
That's right.
And smoke came out of, it's obvious what that was, right?
That's right.
It's judgment. Because of the wickedness. Because of the measurement of their wickedness, man. That's what it's dealing with. Okay? And we're going to get more precepts to prove it. You got more on that?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
And he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof.
He closed it back.
Closed it back down.
He closed it back. Because now she's in the midst of that wickedness that she has to answer for. She has to be judged. Now let's prove it, right?
Okay.
In Zechariah 5, short summary, it says, I see two other women being raised as storks and wind between their wings, whether one of these women shall bear the ephah. And it said, the one that shall establish their base in Shinar. What is that? Babylon. So it's clear what that's talking about, that ephah and that woman, what it represents. Okay, it's affliction. Now to further prove it more, Amos 7 and 7. Let's get that. But while you brothers getting that, I'm going to get the definition for ephah just to further, for edification's sake, because this is about charity. Okay? It says ephah or apah or ayapah, which means a dry measure of quantity equal to 3 seahs, 10 omers, the same as the liquid measure bag. Imperial gallons. Rabbinical writings give sizes of 1/2 this amount. The receptacle for measuring or holding that amount. Now, didn't it say in Jeremiah 9, it said that your deeds have surpassed the wicked? That's measurements all day. I'm still trying to figure out where World War I at. We just in verse 2, and I don't hear nothing about Winston Churchill and Kaiser Wilhelm.
Kaiser Wilhelm. I ain't heard nothing about him.
Nothing. Okay? But you got these men who demand to be glorified and boast upon for breakdown that's not even in the Bible. You sending your money to nobodies. Kaiser Wilhelm's not there, bro. We gonna further prove it. Let's get to Amos 7:7.
Amos 7:7 said, "Thus he showed me, and behold."
Start at 5.
5. Alright, it's Amos 7:5.
You start at 6. What?
Amos 7:6. The Lord repented for this. This also shall not be, saith the Lord power. Thus he showed me, and behold, the Lord stood upon a wall made by a plumb line, with a plumb line in his hand.
Right?
And the Lord said unto me, Amos, what seest thou? And I said, a plumb line. Then said the Lord, behold, I will set a plumb line in the midst of my people.
What?
I will set a plumb line in the midst of my people.
It says in the midst of the people? It's like the wickedness was in the midst of the woman in the ephah that was opened and closed. Where the hell is Europe?
Ain't there.
It ain't there. And you a damn fool if you keep on believing in that BS. Go ahead, Hawk.
I will set a plumb line in the midst of my people Israel. I will not again pass by them anymore. Verse 9. And the high places of Isaac shall be desolate, and the sanctuaries of Israel shall be laid waste. And I will raise again the house of
I will rise against.
And I will rise against the house of Jeroboam with the sword.
So that shows you right there, it's judgment. It's affliction because of their wickedness. So now let's go back to Revelations 9:2. Now that we understand the context. Now we know what the bottomless pit represents. It's the opening of the judgment for the wickedness that Israel has committed. And we're going to prove it. Don't worry. We'll show you. Because we were told that the next thing that came out of this pit, oh man, let's find out.
Let me read this real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
This is from BibleBelievers.org. It said the 3 woes. Compare the 4th trumpet and the flying eagle with the 4th seal, introduced by the living creature like a flying eagle, Revelation 4:7. For it is under the 4th seal that the mystery of the 3 woes has been revealed to us. Out of the last 3 trumpet judgments upon Israel and its impersonators, 3 woes will strike the earth and all of its inhabitants in World Wars 1, 2, and 3.
Where's that from?
Oh no.
BibleBeliever.org.
BibleBeliever.org.
There we go.
But you know what they're saying? They watch us. They watch us. No, nigga, you've been watching them.
Right.
That's what you've been doing. So all you guys out there that's sending your money and going out here giving double honors,
Bible believers.
all you guys are Bible-built prophets. You're Bible believers.
And also, they've written books on America being Mystery Babylon back in the
Countless.
early 90s, back when you were still running on VHSs. So how the hell they seeing you?
And also too, right? Wasn't the year 2000 doctrine about America being the daughter of Babylon? Damn, Tgod.
Came and went.
Yeah, I know. Don't watch me. Don't watch him. I know.
I got
Because your ass is, you caught up, bro. You teaching Bible belt doctrines, bro. And Albert Pike talk. the three world wars, the three woes,
even
which is a top Freemason.
Even scarier, you could be purposely teaching that, man.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
I mean, through the spirit, I
think
really
you're
think you are.
Because it's clearly not talking about
It's
Kaiser
clearly not
Wilhelm.
talking about Kaiser
Wilhelm.
Yeah.
We know his name. We just mocking him. Because
let me get a precept real quick to back up about the ephod and the bottomless pit. This is Isaiah 5:13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitudes dried up with thirst. Therefore hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he have rejoiced shall descend into it.
that ain't Europe, bro. I'm sorry.
That's a bottomless pit of wickedness that cannot be measured, that Israel committed.
He said the sins should reach the heavens, right?
And then also when you read about the bottomless pit, Esau being let out the bottomless pit after 1,000 years, that's nothing but wickedness coming out. He was subdued, and during the Dark Ages things weren't as bad,
right?
And then when he came out, what does it say in Maccabees? Evils were multiplied on the earth.
That's right.
When he came to power.
What was that? Maccabees 1?
Maccabees 1 and 9.
Get that. Somebody get that. 1 and 9. Get that for the brother. Bible shop. But we do everything by precept. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. Not selective precepts. We're going to show y'all too, man.
Not BibleBelievers.
Not BibleBelievers.org either, man.
No, we don't do that.
There's a lot of scriptures in there y'all calling missiles. It ain't missiles, bro. It ain't missiles. We going to show you. Gonna be a cold summer.
Alright. This first Maccabees 1 and 9.
Come.
It says, and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
So that's talking about Alexander. Now, when was the time before Alexander where Esau had rulership?
Thank you. That's where the leper came into play. Going right back to Revelations. That you went off on another thing. That's just coming later. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's go back to Revelations 9. So now that we brought out the precepts to identify what the bottomless pit represents, who has the cock crew, who has the motions to open and close it, right? Who was given the key? HaMashiach, not Kaiser Wilhelm. Now, the challenge to you flunkies who are sitting there biting your lips, right? Clicking off the video and coming back, clicking off and coming back. You have to prove, and don't sit there and say, we ain't got to prove none of y'all. Hey, that's fine too.
Prove it to the little ones then.
Prove it to your little ones then. Show them that is talking about Kaiser Wilhelm. Okay? But you in Europe. Show them. Okay? And also, make sure you correct the precepts we brought out too. Make sure you show us how that key, make sure you show us how Revelation 1:18 wasn't YAHAWASHI. Okay? Go ahead. Let's go back to Revelation 9.
Alright, let's start back at 2. Revelations 9:2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
As a smoke, as a great furnace. Now you look at the book of Joshua, you always see situations where they invaded nations, and they seen signals and signs of smoke, which represented what? Distress, afflicted. All right, go ahead.
All right, it's gonna get real now.
Oh yeah.
And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth.
Oh, locusts. Now we were taught, Israel, that this is talking about airplanes, red barons. That's what you taught us, Tar. You taught us that the locusts were airplanes in World War I, right? Right. You said that the scorpions were. Oh, Salaki, go ahead.
Right. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power.
Right. So he tried to link that up and say that those scorpions is talking about the machine guns, the air guns on the back of the tail gunner off the back of the Red Baron. That's what he said it was. So we got Kaiser Wilhelm, Europe, and Red Baron Pizza.
And somehow those tail gunners were stinging men for 5 straight months.
Yeah, they were just shooting bullets for 5 months straight. Right?
5 months worth of
Well, World War I lasted for 5 years. Listen, bro, it ain't in there. Okay? Now, it says locusts, right? Oh, verse 3, right? Okay. And it says, unto them was given power as the scorpions of the power of the earth have power. So now, let's find out who these locusts are. Okay, so who are the locusts? Since we know that it's not airplanes, we know that it's not Red Baron Sahar. It's not talking about that. The not crew. It's talking about the angels. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about the angels. Okay, that's what the locusts are representing. Okay. And when it says it was, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. Scorpions are a representation of afflicting something or affliction. Okay? You can get stung by a scorpion and the affliction just doesn't stop at the sting. You still have to deal with the venomous secretions that's been entered into your flesh. That can break down your body, cause mental disorders. It's all type of things that can happen from the after effects of that venomous secretions in your flesh. So that can be plague-like, right? Or affliction.
Absolutely.
Very plain. So let's now let's prove that the locusts are the angels. Read verse 4 just for a more understanding on context, and then we'll get the precepts.
Revelation 9:4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of YAHAWAH in their forehead.
So how is this airplanes? If they were commanded to hurt every man except those that had the seal of God on their foreheads, how is this airplanes? It's obvious these are spirits that are sent forth for the vengeance of the Lord.
And watch the Greeks.
then
Tahar said that the seal of God on their forehead was because there was a lot of Jakes fighting in World War I. But none of them had the seal of the Most High, because none of them knew the name of the Most High and was preaching the Most High. They was fighting for Esau. You know what I'm saying? Like, these men weren't honorable like that. They were fighting for the devil.
And if it's, you know, planes, right? They got the guns hanging off the bottom and they shooting towards the ground. They hitting trees and grass and shit.
Well, remember, it said that, man, it's just so much explaining you gotta do, bro. And we know you ain't gonna explain it because you caught, man, red-handed. And all you guys who keep putting your faith in the wisdom of men, okay.
I mean, obviously, that's talking about, you know, people when it says trees and grass or whatever.
Absolutely.
We know that.
Absolutely. But according to their logic, as far as that being red barons, what are they shooting then? Green, like you said, grass, trees, and fields. What are they doing? Come on, man. So it says, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. What else precept comes to mind when you think of that? Ezekiel
9:4. That's right. Ezekiel 9:4.
Now let's start at 1 though, because let's deal with the seal in the forehead.
Ezekiel 9:4.
It's funny how Revelation 9 is saying the same thing these other chapters are saying. We'll start at 1.
This is Ezekiel 9:1. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have the charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
You see that? Even every man with a destroying weapon in his hand. Okay, go ahead.
And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand.
You see that? And you see that? Ain't no damn airplanes. Tgod?
Machine gunners.
Go ahead, bro.
Alright? And every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with the writer's inkhorn.
By his side. Go ahead.
And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar.
Go ahead.
And the glory of Yahawah of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side.
Now what is this writer inkhorn was commanded to do? Keep going.
And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
And what else?
And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite, yet not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
The same thing that Revelation 9 just said in verse 4.
And also, if that mark, that we know that mark means exempt from judgment.
That's right, the walk.
So what were those men in World War I? How were they exempt from judgment? What did they do to be exempt from judgment?
They came right back home to
it. Tell you that Israel has to be woken up, right? The dead, the dry bones in the valley. You know what I'm saying? The dry bones wasn't in 1915. We wasn't waking up like that. What was it, 1914?
Yeah, 1911 to 1919.
Yeah, man.
Bro,
you had, you know what? Here's a history lesson. And during that time, during the early 1900s, you had in Harlem, you had the Commandment Keepers under Wentworth Arthur Matthews.
That's right.
They were still following Judaic customs from the Khazars,
which is Catholicism.
They were basically following that. They weren't preaching out of the scriptures. They didn't even believe in the Messiah.
That's right. A lot of people who are bigged up didn't believe in the Messiah.
So how can you have that mark and you don't believe in the Messiah?
Just like some guys you say that are reincarnations of other people didn't believe in the Messiah.
Right.
It's crazy, man. And it's funny how everybody else gonna die, but a nigga that clearly sold out, he might got a chance to make it though.
2 niggas.
Right.
Goofy.
Skull and Bones. I don't think YAHAWAH dealing with that.
No, he not dealing with that shit. And he ran into him twice. Tahar, you ran into REI twice, and you didn't cuss him out not one time.
He ain't run into him.
Or going to the scriptures and show him where he wrong at. You know, first time you said you saw an angel. You know, the second time, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what you saw? But the point, you know what I'm saying? The point is, you locked on that man, and I wouldn't be surprised if you and that man made some type of an agreement and is pulling the wool over everybody's eyes and conning the people. And you're going to have that man wake up out of his sleep with comfy and come back into the truth. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen.
You running into him or you running with him?
Right.
Right. You sure right. So let me guess. You seen him at AutoZone? Come on, man. Knock it off, bro. So let's go ahead. Let's finish that. Ezekiel 9.
Come.
Like I was in Ezekiel 9.
6.
And 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
You see that? At the ancient men which were before the house. Who's those ancient men? The leaders, the false prophets, those that talk for hire, the familiar spirits, the dreamers, the gazers, the stargazers, the whisperers. Just like you guys out here now. Gimmicks and hustles, man. It's all you guys out here doing, man. Gimmicks and hustles. You got a problem, debate us then, man. Debate us. You can debate it. You can reason with the pages open. Like a man. And prove all things. But you don't want to mess up your reputation. Because you got a little good thing going on. But it's okay. The scripture's going to mess up your reputation because you can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So by you not responding, by you displaying cognitive dissonance, you're only magnifying the truth.
Playing semantics.
Playing semantics, you're only magnifying it. So go ahead, continue to play your semantics. You're only going to magnify what's right.
Right, and if you can't shut this down, then don't even make a video, man. You're just gonna hurt yourself with your own congregation.
Really?
Don't come with no slanderous bullshit.
Show us Kaiser Wilhelm.
Show us Kaiser Wilhelm and airplanes in these scriptures, please. Show us that.
Please, show us that. That's what we want. Okay? Let's finish this up.
Alright, this is Revelation 9 and I'll start.
No, let's finish that Ezekiel 9, all the way to verse 8.
Yeah. This is Ezekiel 9 and 7. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they that went forth and slew in the city. And it came to pass, while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face, and I cried and said, Ah, Lord power, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel, and thy pouring out of the fury upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, the Lord hath forsaken the earth, and the Lord seeth not.
There goes the bottomless pit. There goes your bottomless pit. There goes your ether. There goes your wickedness cast in the midst of the woman. There's your plumb line. It's just said, it's just mentioned in different forms. That's all. But you gotta catch it. Blessed is he that readeth, for he that understandeth. Go ahead.
And as for me also, mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. And behold, the man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded.
So now let's go back and see let's go back to Revelation 9. So now we opening up what this locust is talking about, right? Right? So it clearly says in Revelation 9, right? What did it say? Verse 4, read that again. I'm gonna keep going down.
Revelation 9 and 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree.
Now we know the green thing or the any tree is representing the elect. We know that the Lord called men trees. We know that in Job it said that the rain showers upon the grass. David spoke of green pasture. Come on, man. Go ahead, I'll continue.
But only those men which have not the seal of Yahweh in their foreheads
shall be afflicted by those locusts. Keep going.
And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months.
Right.
And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion,
right,
when he striketh a man.
Okay, now remember we dealt with the word scorpion, okay? When you look at this Greek word for scorpion, I think it's scorpos or scorpes. It means piercer, okay? But once again, it represents affliction because, for example, when you like me and this brother always discuss, when you look at King Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, when he took the throne over, the people said, you know, loosen our bondage, you know, just a little bit, and we'll serve thee, loyally, right? So he went to the elders and they said, you know, do it, so the people will respect you and follow you. He went to his friends, the younger men, and they said, make it tighter. So he said, well, I'm not going to be as my father. Yeah, he chastened you, but I shall chasten you with scorpions.
Yeah, somebody get 2 Chronicles 10 and 11.
Torment the hell out of him.
Right. So but did that mean he took a big ass dump truck and just dumped scorpions on him?
No.
Use a machine gun.
Or use a machine gun?
You said 10 and 11?
Yeah,
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and 11. 2 Chronicles. So for whereas my father put a heavy yoke upon you, I will put more to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions.
So did he actually put a scorpion on somebody's shirt and whoop
right.
it with it? No, it just means he gave him hell, man, basically.
More vigorous punishment.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, man.
Yes, time.
Everybody had a scorpion in their life. They still getting scorpions in their life. Okay? It's poetry, dog. It's poetry.
And somebody get Nahum 3 and 15 love of the show.
Nahum 3:15. Thou shalt the fire devour thee, the sword shall cut thee off. It shall eat thee up like the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and fleeth away. Thy crown are as the locusts, and thy captives as the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day. But when the sun ariseth, thy flee away, and their place is not known where they are.
Right, so that's representing the locusts, right? The locusts represent an army. Now he said it's the army of the who was that? World War I. Yeah, the armies in World War I, but it's not speaking of that. Not at all. Another precept, Isaiah 33:1, brother, for sure. 1 through 4.
It's Isaiah 33, you said start at 1?
Yep.
33:1. Woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled. And what is that?
Dealest treacherously.
Dealest treacherously, and thou dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, thou shalt deal treacherously with thee. O Lord, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning. Our salvation also in the time of trouble. Verse 3. At the noise of the tumult, the people flee, and lifting up thyself, the nations were scattered. And your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar, as the running to and fro of locusts. He shall run upon them.
That's it. That's it.
Well, the next verse, real swift, 5. It says, the Lord is executed, exalted, for he dwelleth on high, and he hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness.
Right, he filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. That's equated to the locusts, running to and fro.
Separating the tares from the wheats. Okay, so that also shows you the tares and wheats. That ain't even dealing with East. That's not even dealing with confusion of faith. That's not dealing with skin color, man. That's talking about the goat and the lamb, the sheep. It ain't talking about skin color. Oh, that's talking about, Jake that look like the other nations. No, it's not, bro. Stupid. No, it's not.
Because you got pastors that come under the guise of a sheep, but they what? Wolf and sheep's clothing.
Yeah, like right now, like what we're addressing right now. Exactly what we're addressing right now. Period. Now check this out. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna go to Joel 2, what they famously use for missiles. Now we just been going into locusts, right? Joel 2:1. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is the nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth." They try to say that's the missile, right? That's the fire pushing the missile. No. It's not talking about no damn missiles, man. And you have the nerve to call people winging it. You the biggest wing stop in Israel, man.
That's why I call them the Red Bull prophets, man. They give them wings.
Man, bro. Red Bull believers, man. It says, "And behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them." See, that's the missiles. And you know what they do? Shalom, Devanus, blah, 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 blah. Nigga, read verse 3, read verse 4, read verse 5, read verse 6. So we gonna do that. Verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as the horsemen, so shall they run. Right? Those the missiles.
Missiles don't run, dog.
Those the missiles. Well, you know what it means. It's flying. It's flying like a horse, right? But hold on, though. We gonna deal with that running like a horse. Don't worry. It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as the horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, so shall they leap. Like the noise of the flame of the fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It says a strong people set in battle array. Don't sound like missiles, bro. No. And we gonna prove to remember the people in battle array. Remember that, okay? It says, before their face shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. How's this missiles?
It's not a missile.
It's not a missile, bro. That's not an ICBM. That's just another gimmick to get more money and hustle people.
And how does a missile fall upon a sword? Does that mean another defense mechanism going to hit that missile, but the missile do a juke move on them?
No, well, who's going to pierce it?
Right.
Missiles.
Who's going to pierce it?
1,000 miles an hour.
So the missile going to be like, oh, damn, you got me. No, bro, that's not what it's saying. That's not what it's saying.
You're going to knock it out the sky, but it's going to return on its course.
That's not what it's saying. It says, verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon, keyword, singular, city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in as the windows like a thief.
So a missile going to do all that?
Yeah. Well, that's the fire. That's the, the explosion.
But it's going to be like a thief, remind
What
you.
it say?
Yeah.
The missile loud as hell, but it's going to be a quiet
What it say
event.
they shall climb?
It's all the 200 million missiles.
Yeah,
With feet.
With feet, too.
They're gonna be like people.
See, y'all ain't spiritual though, y'all ain't spiritual though. See, that's why y'all bugged out, because y'all ain't spiritual.
Flying people horse.
See, but y'all ain't spiritual. The feet is talking about how the missiles flying.
It's swift.
I can see these idiots right now trying to conjure in their mind to not accept the fact that you've been duped. You sent thousands of dollars to some frauds. That's why I never sent your ass no money.
And mind you, this same man said on camera that 2 million missiles will destroy the whole earth.
But wait a minute. I thought it was only America that was going to be destroyed. Right. Which one is it, bro?
And the scriptures say the earth will burn forever.
Right. Forever. So now it says, verse 10.
Could you go back a little bit?
Verse 9. It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall
wait. To and fro.
So they gonna hit and then go back.
Explode again.
And come back.
Explode
They
again.
gonna go back.
That's how you get 100 million missiles.
Oh, so we going off. No.
Damn, I never. Okay.
No.
Yeah, the missiles go back.
Look at the fish. Look at the fish. He like, mouth wide open.
Ricochet missile.
But look though, verse 10, right? The earth shut. That's a good point. They just gonna be, boom, boom. All right, whatever. Let's see.
See, this is called listening, comprehending,
Critical
reading,
thinking.
critical thinking.
Preeminence.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10, man. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. Wait a minute, the missiles already hit.
The missiles is his army?
Wait a minute, listen, wait a minute. The missiles already hit.
Right.
So what, he gonna
Raise up an army from
raise up an army of missiles out of
It's already exploded.
exploded and hit and ran to and fro?
3 missiles.
Huh? Especially you, Manapazat. You ain't gonna be able to mop this up, bro.
When you ain't got a big enough swift.
Your mop, first of all, your mop water's dirty, it's filthy. Yeah, you ain't gonna win this one, bro. You ain't been winning. But you definitely ain't gonna win this one. Verse 11 kills your missile doctrine in Joel, the 2nd chapter. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executed his word, for the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Okay? Now, I'm going to jump down to another verse. Where's that at? Yep. That's crazy. I went right to it. Verse 25. And I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. So how is that missiles if he's going to restore everything the missiles took from you? Tgod, don't say that, bro. No, sir. Don't say that, bro. And don't say that. So let's go back to Revelations 9.
And somebody grab 2nd Maccabees, the 10th chapter.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that because I want to get that
you read it already.
Verse 6 in Revelation 9.
Yeah.
You got, it's gonna come right with it. That's verse 7. You gonna get that? That's ready, yeah. It's on deck. Go ahead, brother. Verse 6. Verse 5.
Right, Revelation 9 and 5. It says, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man.
There you go. So 5 months represents a particular season that the Lord was going to allow the judgment for the measurement of their wickedness. Very plain. Kakru. Okay? Now, verse 6.
And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
That's right. Because why? It's going to be plagues put on them. Okay? Perfect example. Somebody get Isaiah 9, Lion, get Isaiah 9:13 from YAHAWASHI.
It's Isaiah 9 and 13. For the people turneth not unto him that smiteth them, neither do they seek the Lord of hosts. Therefore, the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day. The ancient and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail.
Right, you see how he said the ancient and the heads, right? Same thing that was said in Ezekiel 9, right? Same exact stuff. Come on, man. So now let's go back to Revelations 9, right?
Alright, Revelation 9 and 6. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
That's right. And death shall flee from them, right? So now, let me tell you something. It's a horrible... So basically, it's a horrible pain to starve to death, or to watch your family, be afflicted to the point of where they reach insanity or madness. And of course, we know that's going to be going on in Jacob's trouble. So it's going to be a lot of things that the Lord's going to be using to convince Jacob to repent. Okay, but that's going to be later on in the chapter. But right now, we've been taught that this is all done in World War I. This is talking about all the men that's been injured in World War I, and they came back home with what they call it? Shell shocked and all bugged out on heroin and everything. That's what it's talking about. That's not what it's talking about, bro. Okay, it's not what it's talking about. So that's verse 6, right? So let's go ahead and read verse 7.
All right. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle.
Now wait a minute. Same horses that was running to and fro in Joel 2, right? In Isaiah 33 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. So are these missiles too? But wait a minute. We were taught that these are airplanes. See the confusion? That's straight confusion. Elders of all Israel. Nah, bro. That ain't what the scripture says. We got to deal with exactly what the scripture says. It says, and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. Just like it said in Joel 2, right? Battle array, the people, right? It says, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men.
Those missiles look like men.
So the missiles, no, the airplanes looked like men and had crowns like gold, right? So, and prepared unto battle. But you know, that don't sound like airplanes from World War I. That sounds a lot like the angels. And we're going to get the precepts to prove it.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead, brother. Which one? The second Maccabees?
Maccabees 10 and 25.
10 and 25. Also get second Maccabees 5 and 1. And second Maccabees 2, 30.
Second Maccabees 10:25. But when he drew near, they were with Maccabees turned themselves to pray unto God Yahweh, and sprinkled earth upon their heads, and girded their loins with sackcloth, and fell down at the foot of the altar, and besought him to be merciful to them, and to be an enemy to their enemies, and an adversary to their adversary, as the law declared. So after the prayer, they took their weapons and went on further from the city. And when they drew near to their enemies, they kept by themselves. Now the sun being newly risen, they joined both together, the one part having together with their virtue, their refuge, also unto the Lord for pledge of their success and victory. The other side making their rage leader of that battle. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto their enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses, with bridles of gold, and two of them led the Jews.
Hey, read that part again, Art.
But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared to the enemies 5 comely upon men.
It appeared to the enemies 5 comely men with what?
Upon horses with
what?
With bridles of gold.
With what?
Bridles of gold.
Bridles of gold. Battle array. Right? Go ahead.
And 2 of them led the Jews, and took Maccabeus to betwist them, and cover him on every side with their weapons, and kept him safe. But shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies.
Shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies. That's what they did. They protect Maccabeus. They put him in betwixt them, and they protect them by shooting out lightning beams and arrows. And they had on a gold bridle. Battle array. These are angels, bro. The locust is talking about angels. In Revelations 9. Remember the reaper in Matthew 13. Yahawashi clearly said the reapers are the angels. And we're going to get it. Now go to 2 Maccabees 5 and 1.
The 2 Maccabees 5 and 1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt, and then it happened.
Now look, we see Antiochus, we see Alexander. Where's Kaiser? Go ahead, bro.
And then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air. And
what?
There were seen horsemen running in the air.
I guess those were the details on the plane.
Yeah, that's the Red Barons.
Flying horse people.
That's the Red Baron pilots. Cheese and extra sausage.
Red tails.
Red tails. Come on, bro. Go ahead.
In cloths of gold, and armed with lances, like a band of soldiers.
He said, man, go ahead, bro.
And troops of horsemen in array.
That's it. All right. That's it, bro. That's verse 2.
Yeah, that was 3.
Verse 3.
3 and 25.
Alright,
2 Maccabees 3 and 25.
And if we going off, show us how we going off in those precepts with the locusts having gold crowns in Revelation 9.
With some scriptures.
With scriptures though, not emotions and spitting at the camera. Go ahead.
2 Maccabees 3 and 25. For they appeared unto them in horse with the terrible rider upon him. and adorned with a very fair covering, and he ran fiercely and smote at Teledorius with his forefeet, and it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had complete harness of gold.
Oh man. man.
My pills to swallow there.
Yeah, but we gonna swallow it. We don't have no choice, right? So now let's get deep into the. You know what? We might just have to just do 9, and we just have to come back and just hit 11. Cause boy,
we ain't even got through half.
11, yeah. We're gonna have to just do 11, a separate section for 11. Okay.
We're on 6 verse. Yeah, 6 verse.
Huh?
We're on 6 verse, 7 verse.
Yeah. But there's so many precepts that you have to. See what I'm saying? But don't worry though, cause we got all weekend. So don't trip. We're gonna do chapter 11. So right now, we're gonna just deal with Revelations 9 because this is the prize pupil breakdown that, you know, all the funkies use to separate themselves on why they gotta go take on a chariot or why everybody else don't. Because, you know, our elders go into the breakdowns. No, your elders have been weaning breakdowns and stealing breakdowns from BibleBelieving.org. That's what they've been doing. And from Masonic influences. Period. And Catholicism. All day. A lot of you Israelite guys, your leaders are Catholics. That's right. I'm sorry for not being sorry. Okay? Your elders are Catholic, bro. All your elders are Catholics. Trust me. They Jesuit. They work. Your elders who you esteem so high are being told what to do from those Jesuits and that purple and scarlet whore.
Jesuit control.
Okay? No wonder why you don't believe it. No wonder why you don't believe in flat earth. That's against your creed. Catholicism is the organization that brought the beach ball to the earth. Goofies. Don't you know? Vatican's behind NASA, and don't you know Copernicus, who developed the model, the globe model, was Catholic. Copernicus. He was a devout Catholic and Mason. Okay? So now, let's go back to Revelation 9 and 7.
Revelation 9 and 7 says, and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle.
So now it all makes sense now. After we read the precepts, now the understanding is getting, right? Go ahead.
And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women.
Hold on. Now this was the prize verse right here. But Tahar said that to prove that this is Kaiser Wilhelm, what did they show? They showed Kaiser Wilhelm with the helmet, with the hair, with the strings and stuff flying from his helmet, right? And they said that's what it's talking about. No, Tgod, it ain't talking about that, bro. It's not talking about that. Okay? First of all, the hair. Okay, you know what? It's very plain. We just gonna go right to the precept. Gonna go right to it. Start at verse 14. 1 Corinthians 11 and 14. Please, somebody, 1 Corinthians 11 and 14.
11 and 14. Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
Agree.
But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory unto her.
It is a glory unto her, right? And what else?
For her hair is given for her a covering.
A covering, right? So now, let's go back to Revelation 9. Read verse 8 again.
It says, and they had hair.
These locusts that had gold crowns had hair as what?
And they had And they had hair as the hair of women.
So, does it mean literal? Or in spiritually, it's talking about the cover.
Because back in Maccabees, it said they shielded them off and blocked them and covered them and shot arrows.
And the hair also represent what? The glory.
Yeah, the glory of Yahweh.
Did he not say it in Zechariah the 10th chapter that he shall make Judah and turn? We're going to get there too.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 11 and 10.
1 Corinthians 11 and 10. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angel.
More
Okay.
pearls, more pearls.
Man, pearls.
What about the white man?
Kaiser Wilhelm? Hey, bro. Kaiser Wilhelm's helmet is not in this book, bro. Period. Period, bro. And I'm glad YAHAWASHI pulled us out of that bullshit. Okay? So now, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, right? Go to 1 Chronicles 12 and 8. Go ahead, brother. Get that. 1 Corinthians 12 and 8.
1 Corinthians or
Chronicles, Salaki. 1 Chronicles.
1 Chronicles 12 and 8. And of the Gadites that separated themselves unto David into the whole to the wilderness, men of might, and men of war fit for battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountains.
See that? It says lions, right? Right? So it's just describing the fierceness of the angels.
The characteristics.
That's it. That's all. That's it. I ain't talking about no damn
machine guns
and World War I Red Baron. And it ain't talking about that, bro. Keep going. Verse 9.
Uzziah the first.
No. Revelation 9.
And they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle.
Right. That's all we've been reading all this time, right?
Horses preparing for battle.
There you go. So now, keep going. Verse 10.
And they had tails like unto scorpions.
So they were ordained to afflict, right? That's right. Somebody do me a favor. Get Sirach 39 and 12. No, Sirach 39 and 22. 39, Sirach. Watch this.
Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction,
there's your scorpions. Yes.
This is your.
Show that to the camera. And don't worry, we'll put it in the post production too. But hey, hold that phone onto the camera. Get it close to the camera. That's what Tgod said. Verse 8 is talking about that helmet right there. No, bro, it ain't talking about that. Okay? And if it is, show us the precepts on how that's Kaiser Wilhelm's helmet with Shaniqua's weaving. Okay? So now, go ahead and finish that Sirach 39.
Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Keep going.
All right. Verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death, and all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
There goes your situations that was going on during the 5 months. That's what they was getting to hit. That's what the measurement of the wickedness was about. That's what the bottomless pit unleashed.
All forms of judgment.
Exactly. And you see it clearly says the spirits that are created for vengeance. The locusts are doing what? Avenging.
Sure.
Okay? Now,
What they're commanded to do.
go ahead, verse 10.
Alright, and they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months.
Con, verse 11. Now here's the nutcracker. Go ahead.
And they had a king over them.
Now who's this king? Go ahead.
Which is the angel of the bottomless pit.
Verse 1. We already proved that that's talking about YAHAWASHI.
Yeah.
The
Right.
king of the angels.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Keep going.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit.
Which is the angel of that judgment, of the measurement.
Can I read a quick precept? But it's Revelation chapter 5 and verse 6. Well, from 4. It says, I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look therein. Verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose those 7 seals thereof. So that was just saying that he had the keys and all authority and power. So
All the transitions are transpired. Okay.
Alright.
So go ahead.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon. But in the Greek tongue have his name Apollyon.
Right, you want to get
Now, the word, can somebody look up the word Abaddon and Apollyon? And in the Greek. The word means destruction and destroyer. Abaddon means destruction. Apollyon means destroyer. Yeah. And then let me get James. Somebody give me James 4 and 12 over. And 1 Corinthians 10 and 4 and 5.
You ready for those?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright,
hold on. Let's read 1 Corinthians 10 first.
First Corinthians.
hold on. I'm sure that's somebody else.
Yes.
spiritual
5. Go to some of them murmured.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, that's 9.
Yeah,
9 and 10.
Yeah.
Verse 9 and 10.
First Corinthians 9 and 10. O say he is altogether for one our sake. For our sake is no doubt. This is written that he that our sake for our sake no doubt this is written that he that plowed should plow in hope, and that he that
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10 and 9.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 9. Neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of the serpent.
Right, so don't tempt YAHAWASHI, as some of them were tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Go ahead.
Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer.
They were destroyed of who?
The destroyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a capital D right there? For destroyer?
Nah, man.
Okay.
Listen,
Someone got the definition?
I got it right here.
Okay, yeah.
That's Apollyon. The angel of the bottomless pit. The destroyer.
Over with.
Oh man, that's what it says in Corinthians?
Oh no, that's in Revelation.
Oh man.
That Apollo, is that destroyer capital D?
Of course.
That's a title.
That's
Capital
G.
D is
The Strong's.
the title.
I'll get it to him. The Strong's is G623. All right.
Yep. Hey, so that's why it says that's why it has capital, because it's a title for the angel of death. When you look into Wikipedia, it says the angel of death. The angel, you look up the angel of the bottomless pit in Wikipedia, it'll tell you it's the angel of death. Now, who's the angel of death? YAHAWASHI, because the angel of death is the grim reaper, right? The grim reaper always has a sickle in his hand, right? In Revelations 20, what's that, 22, it tells you, take the sickle and reap. And that's YAHAWASHI doing that. You see now, James, what was that? James
4 and 12.
Yeah, 4 and 12.
All right, this is James 4 and 12. There is one lawgiver who was able to save and to destroy.
One lawgiver who's able to save and destroy.
Pearl.
Go ahead.
Who art thou that judges another?
Salaki, real quick. But they say this is Kaiser Wilhelm.
Right.
Look, man, don't come on our comment board with all that emotional shit. Just stay your goofy ass on the other side of stay on the bench, man. Don't come on our comment board with that goofy shit. If you're not finna deal with the scriptures accordingly and show us where we going off at, show us how this is Kaiser Wilhelm. If not, shut up.
Read that one more time, bro.
God. James 4 and 12. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judges another?
Now jump from there to Mark 1 and 23, though, for sure. One more, just to put it to bed.
Yeah, because hey, Forrest, you gonna have to address these precepts, but I know you ain't gonna do it. No, you ain't gonna address it. You too, short circuit. Show us how that's Kaiser Wilhelm.
This is Mark 1 and 23. And there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee? Thou Yahawashi of Nazareth, art thou come to destroy us? I know thee, who art thou, the Holy One of Yahawah. You want that Abaddon?
Yeah. You got it, bro.
This is Abaddon, all right? Ruin, destruction.
Hold on, whoa. You said ruin? Okay, now it's funny you said that. Let me pick my phone back up. That's funny. I looked at the Greek word for destroy in Corinthians, right? It said ruined, right?
Ruin, that was the first one.
Huh?
That was the first one.
It says ruin?
Abaddon, ruin.
Okay, perfect. What's the Greek word for it?
For ruin?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the Greek word?
Well,
for Abaddon?
Yeah.
Right. Well, how do you say the Greek word?
Abaddon.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, now watch this. You said ruin, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you look back at 1 Corinthians 10 and 9 when it spoke about, neither let us tempt Mashiach as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at destroyed, it said, let me see. Oh, Salaki, verse 10. Neither murmur ye as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now, when you look at destroyed, that's apolumi, which is to destroy, to put out the way, to kill, render useless, to declare that one must be put to death, right? Metaphorically, right? To devote,
the keys of hell and death.
Life and death, right? Now, it says we're destroyed of the destroyer, right? Now, let's look at destroyer. Destroyer is Othruchis, which means a destroyer, a ruiner.
I'll let you go. Go ahead.
I'm done.
That's it. That's what you want.
That's it.
All right, I'll finish. Abaddon, ruin, destruction, the place of destruction, the name of the angel prince of the infernal regions, the minister of death, and the author of the havoc on earth.
Now who killed the whole firstborn in Egypt? Was that not Yahawashi who killed the firstborn in Egypt?
Right.
The death angel?
Read Wisdom of Solomon, 18th chapter. The 5th verse starts from there.
Right.
Okay? And also, too, just to prove that he's a ruiner, let's go to the milk. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against his mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. That's chaos. That's ruin. That's something being ruined. That ain't talking about Kaiser Wilhelm, bro.
I got one real quick. This is Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? See, so the Lord came for destruction. See, when you research that, they're gonna tell you that the angel of the bottomless pit is Satan, because it's causing the destruction.
Right.
But they don't understand that
the Lord created
evil and good. Hello.
Hey, the Hebrew origin for that word Abaddon is destroying angel.
See? Right.
It's crazy.
And YAHAWASHI said, I'm not gonna meet you as a man. You know?
It's crazy. And you gotta imagine, he's the same man who looked at other Israelites who said that Apollyon was just an angel that was gonna come, and they wished death on this man and cursed him out because he didn't say it was Kaiser Wilhelm. Right? I remember when they used to give us tests and ask us who's Apollyon, and the correct answer was Kaiser Wilhelm. Nah, bruh. Y'all going off. It ain't talking about Kaiser Wilhelm, bro. Period. Let's finish out the chapter. And then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, and don't worry. We'll address 11 and 12. Don't worry. You'll get it all throughout this weekend. Let's go. Verse 11. Let's do 11 again.
Okay. All right. It says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit.
Cockroach.
Whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue have his name Apollyon.
Apollyon means what? Destruction.
Destroyer.
And how many times? And did not Greece exalt a statue of Apollos and said it and called it Jesus Christ?
They did too.
Go ahead.
Okay. One woe is past.
Oh, one woe is past. So
one destruction.
So one destruction has passed, right? One transition has passed. We'll say transition, okay? But that definitely don't sound like no damn World War I. Because now we got to go into World War II now. And I don't see Hitler nowhere from chapter 10 all the way to the last chapter of Revelation at all. I don't see what was his name? Adolf Schickelgruber. We don't see him nowhere in here. Okay? Go ahead, let's go.
Alright, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
So I guess that's the other two world wars? Nah, bro, that's BibleBelievers.org. That's Bible Belt Prophets. So all you've been doing is spinning those Bible.org ministries, dude. Go ahead.
And the six angels.
And the rest of you guys too. Rest of you guys that put your, even the guys who ain't even with GMS and you still hanging on to them strings. Well, what about the 12 tribes chart? What about the 12? Y'all don't even go into that. We go into that. Y'all don't go into it. I have not seen any one of y'all break down the tribe of Naphtali. Oh, that's the gauchos. You gotta come harder than that, bro. What does that mean when the hind let loose? We go into the tribes. Y'all don't even go into the tribes. So don't even try to, well, y'all do teach the tribe. The tribe is right there. It's in Genesis 49. We could tell from all the geographic locations where the tribes are. Very easy. Okay? So I can go ahead, bro.
And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before Yahweh, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet loose, or loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Right. See, those angels were let loose to slay the third part of men. Now, GMS did teach this, that the three parts of men is the sons of the wicked, the sons of men, and the sons of God. Right? So the third part is one of those three. So the sons of God is the ones that's being attacked, which are the Israelites. You can't tell we the sons of God because we're wicked as hell, but that's who it's referring to. Go ahead.
Alright. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
Now they say that's the missiles, 200,000. But let's see what that's really talking about. Somebody grab Psalms 68 and 17.
All right, this is Psalm 68:17. The chariots of Yahawah are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
Wait, one more time.
Psalm 68:17. The chariots of Yahawah are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
See, that's the angels, the thousands upon thousands, which is innumerable. You just multiplying thousands. See, I used to think that that was the men of the number of the army of the beast, but no, it's the angels.
That's right.
You know? Now today, side note, right? You know how IURC says that, you know, the name is a doctrine, and, you know, English is, you know, it says Jesus, and we got to teach them and what it says. Well, Psalm 68:4 says, sing unto power, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Yah, and rejoice before him. IURC, you got some explaining to do, bro. Yeah. That's right there in Isaiah 68:4. It says Yah. So when you all say Most High, blessed Christ,
Most High Christ, bless.
it says Yah right here, bro. So it's not that it's being made a doctrine. It says Yah. His name is Yah.
C3 charter, man.
And the only scripture they ever use is he put his word above his name.
And that's not talking about that. That's talking about prophecy.
Right.
He put his word above his name, meaning that whatever goes forth shall not come back voided. He put that on his name.
He only can swear by his name because there's none higher.
He's not one to lie, man. That's what he is. Man alone. He said it's gonna happen.
That's what he told him. He said, I only swear by my name because there's nothing higher to testify by.
Right.
That's what I say is gonna pass.
Right.
It's not talking about. It's not talking about that, bro. Like I said, you can't say Psalms 138 and 2 is saying that, and then clearly in Psalm 68:4 it says his name is Yah. Clear. Okay? That's side note. So I said that all this confusion that's been going on in Israel, it's gonna cease. It's gonna cease. You can ignore it, but you can't do nothing against the truth before. You're going to know where to run to, know where to hide. You're going to see a bear, you're going to turn. You're going to see a lion, you're going to run in the house, it's going to be a serpent right there to bite you. You can't run from the truth, man. All these doctrines out here that you Israelites are teaching, it's corruption. That's what it is. It's corruption. It's a corruptible crown that you guys are seeking. Okay? So now, let's go, keep going. So you know what? Oh, just real side note for the precept for the thousand, right? Let me get this for y'all, Bob Sean. This is the book of Judah. Oh no, Salaki. No, never mind. That's okay. Never mind. That's okay. Actually, that's just proving when he says the locust was innumerable. It was speaking about that king's army, but was to just show you that they were men. They were men. That's all. It's just a point to show you they're men. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Go ahead, Salaki. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Oh, you had another precept, 1 and 3? That's it. Okay, go ahead.
And the number, we back at Revelation 9:16.
Yes, sir.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions. And out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone.
We already broke down in 1 Chronicles 12 and 8 as far as how Gad and Judah had the faces of lions, right? Okay? Don't the angels look like us? Ezekiel 40 says a man of brass, right? I'm looking at men of brass right now. Okay? Go ahead.
By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by smoke, and by brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and heads and have heads, and with them they do hurt.
And with them they do hurt. There's your destroying weapons.
Ain't no ICBM missiles been
well, I've been watching back around all night.
You got some explaining to do.
So that's not talking about the missiles neither.
Hell no.
Now watch this. This is really gonna dead that. Keep reading, man.
And the rest of the
men, a long weekend.
And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils.
Now wait a minute, that's the missiles, right? But the ones that didn't get killed from the missiles, all the heathen, they never repented of their idols.
No, that's Israel. That's still Revelation 9.
Yeah. But wait a minute, it's supposed to be the missiles.
Right.
So how's that? Read it again.
Yeah, let it come back.
And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone.
Destroyed everything.
And since when does the Most High care if the heathen worship whatever they worship? The heathen was given the law so they could worship whatever they want to.
That's why you
have the heathen only gonna be destroyed for how they did Israel. That's it. That's it. We gonna be destroyed because we didn't keep the law. The heathen just messed with us. That's their punishment for messing with the apple of the Most High's eye.
Brass and stone, and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. It says, neither repented they of their murder, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication.
That's Esau. No, it ain't.
That's talking about Jake.
That's Jake, bro.
Esau repent.
Now, remember you read Isaiah 9:13? He said, I smited them and they still turn not.
Esau can't repent. Shit. Yeah. It's over with.
Just like Lazarus and the rich man. Right?
Okay.
Right?
That's right.
That's a new doctrine.
Now, let's address that.
Come on.
For you clowns. Okay, and then we'll wrap it up. So now, for the grease makers. Oh, y'all changing the doctrine. Once again, how you know what you were taught is not the actual change. We clearly came from the Bible. We didn't give no extrapolation. We didn't give you no Discovery Channel documentary on Kaiser Wilhelm. We didn't give you BibleBelievers.org. We didn't give you Bible Belt Ministries. We didn't do none of that. We came, read Psalms 100, 119, 104 again. You know what? Start at 100. 119, 100. Is that 111? No, don't say it because, you a zombie to me, y'all. That's what they think. Right. You a zombie to me.
I can't read.
You can't read, brother, and you can't question nothing either. Don't question me, y'all. But I'll let you slide tonight. What you think, brother? Is that 111? Knock it off, bro.
Knock it the fuck off.
Knock it off, bro.
This is Psalms 119, 100. I understand more than the ancients because I kept.
Hold on, Slakia. Those same ancients that's going to be judged first, right? Read it again.
I understand more than the ancients.
Because of what?
Because I keep thy precepts.
Now, stand back. We just gave you an understanding more than what the ancients gave us because we kept the precepts. The ancients kept their bellies. Right. So all you clowns, what y'all gonna change next? What y'all gonna say Esau, Japhet? That's impossible as far as scholarship to prove. What y'all gonna say? Esau can make it? That's impossible as far as scholarship to prove. We deal with scholarship. We don't deal with Bible Belt Ministries. We don't deal with Albert Pike influences.
I want a precept.
And of course, we don't deal with the mystery whore Catholicism, man. A lot of you Israelites are Catholics, man.
That's right, Masons.
Catholics. Well, the Masons are Catholics. A lot of you Israelite leaders are Catholics, man. That's
That's right.
And y'all don't never bang on the Vatican. Y'all always banging on average six-pack Joe. Y'all don't never bang on the Vatican. You did, Tgod, you did series on the damn chip for 2 months. Ain't said a peep about the Vatican. Nothing.
You would think the Vatican didn't exist.
You would think they didn't exist. But Israel, with you Israelites in the community, you would think they. And then another thing too, man. You know, you Israelites that allow people to address you as Black Hebrew Israelites. Like, is it that? It's like, are we that thirsty to be seen or be put on the map by heathens? Look, the heathens gonna see one way or another. It don't matter. Just off the strength of the precept, keeping thy precepts. Period. We've been shown throughout. Now it's crazy, right? The main thing that they always say: who taught you? Who taught you? Who taught you? Who you learn from? Well, it's obviously you ain't teach us shit. It's obviously we didn't learn nothing from you, man. All we learned was a hustle from you. That's all we learned. Now, don't get me wrong, there's little things that was correct, but you have to tell some truth in order for a lie to work.
That's right. That's a good look.
That's how deceit, that's how the devil works. That's how a person of deceit operates. So that's Revelation 9. Israel, what's your thoughts? We clearly showed through the scriptures that Woe 1 is dealing with the reaping of the tares and wheat, and the reapers are the angels.
Ain't got nothing to do with no damn planes and no missiles, man.
Or Kaiser Wilhelm, or World War I, or Europe. Has nothing to do with that, bro.
And like you said, if they do, show some scriptures.
Show the scriptures, man. And I ain't saying I'm not asking for no 30-minute extrapolation. Show the scriptures like we showed y'all. You better show us when Kaiser Wilhelm got that key. You better show it. I'm talking about you, Forrest. Short Circuit, Yashawamba, Mop Boy. Before you start running your mouth like a woman and bitching and complaining, talking about who and where who came from, show us where Kaiser Wilhelm got that key. If you can't, shut up. Be quiet, just like you've been with that raw meat. Okay? And also, as far as Taziadia and his little situation with that y'all just keep trying to blow up, talking about we crickets. We ain't crickets over here. Where there's no law, there's no transgression. Period.
That's right.
I'm not gonna sit there and argue with a nigga who can't show me a law that I transgressed. Well, Ark is spiritual, brother. You gotta, did the prophets do that? How the hell you know what the prophets did? If they didn't transgress the law, why is it to your liking? Why is it on your conscience? Why is it even brought up? You see what I'm saying? Did YAHAWASHI do it? It said all the actually YAHAWASHI, it would be books all over the world. We don't know what YAHAWASHI did.
Everything to say
ain't even written, John.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying.
It's like this, man. You got everything to say about this brother burning the blunt, which he broke no laws, but you won't make Jason burn that fucking jacket.
Yeah. Tell Jason to burn that jacket.
Tell Jason to burn the fucking jacket.
Now we can show the law on that Babylonian garment. We can show all the laws on that, though. We can show that the law. We're not going to misquote Paul for your liking. No, we're not going to do that. Just like you idiots talk about, well, no, you can eat it. Well, yeah, keep chewing that fertilizer. And then, which way, either way, either which way or either or, it don't matter. The law is not being transgressed. So, moving along, show us them precepts on how Kaiser Wilhelm is Apollyon. When did he get the key? How was the bottomless pit Europe? Okay, and make sure y'all break down the ether in Zechariah 5 and Amos 7. The locust is the red baron airplanes. The scorpions is the air gunners. The tail gunners, right?
And the mouth of lions was like the little shark that they drew.
Yeah, the shark, the teeth. Yeah, the shark teeth.
That's supposed to be the same thing that the Jordan number 5 had.
Yeah. Yeah, the Raging Bull. Yeah. That's what it's talking about, right? Show us. Show us. If you can't show us, that's fine. But just know, don't be trying to make videos about us telling us why we wicked and why we ain't following y'all. You see why we ain't following you niggas.
And see, that's the thing too, right? Now, Tahar's new gig is don't ask no questions.
Now you see why.
Just do what I say, because when you start to ask questions, you're gonna ask these questions, and then you're gonna come to him like if you any of them guys in GMS, their new thing is now y'all need to stop watching these other guys because they're leading you to ask questions. Well, of course we are, because we're provoking thought, critical thinking.
What my man said, Mississippi? Well, there are some things that are questionable. See, that's how you know you guys, you're not balanced. You constantly fall upon your tongues. Just like right now, just like how we can address the situation with Tazi out here, that's fine. And then, okay, put like this. Let's deal with the appearances of evil, right? Well, how long has it appeared evil to deal with cannabis?
But it's no law against it.
Well, I was just saying, how long, according to society, has it been appeared as evil? Or maybe it's only appearing as evil because it goes against their agenda as far as their pharmaceutical empire, and of course the profits that they are trying to for themselves rather than having to share with the exports and the boarding of other countries. Okay, trust me, the fiber in hemp can be used for everything from clothes, everything, bruh.
Houses.
And what was crazy, you can grow it yourself. Esau don't want anything on this planet that he can't control.
And it decomposes naturally.
Check this out. By 1931, 29 states had outlawed marijuana. Just in the 30s alone. So that's 29.
So that's appearance. That's when it started to appear as evil.
In the 20s.
Now we know appearance as evil is transgressing the law. Okay. So we ain't gotta sit here and be quiet and act like we don't see. But come on, man. Don't knock that off. You ain't finna stop this show. Show us how that's Kaiser Wilhelm. Okay? Back to that WW1.
Ain't no goddamn Kaiser Wilhelm.
Ain't no Wilhelm, man. DJ Wilhelm. It ain't him, bro. Okay? But show us. And if you can show us, we'll repent on camera. Like men. Like men. We'll repent on camera.
But it ain't gonna happen.
But it ain't gonna happen. Just like your elders be quiet about that raw meat too. Said it being red lentils.
Like Jacob was stirring raw bloody meat in the pot until it get hot.
Put the cayenne pepper and 21 seasons in there and shit. Right? Nah, bro. And they ain't saying that. Once again, deal with context. Don't get mad at us. Don't say, oh, y'all changing the doctrine. First of all, it ain't your doctrine.
Proud, man.
We proud. Nigga, look, we ain't proud. We're confident. We're demons. I bet you can't tell me what demon means. It's deeper than just intelligent. Don't mean that. Okay? Telling you, man.
Most High gonna kill us, you know, because we didn't see Pfizer kill fam. You know?
Oh, yeah. Kaiser Wilhelm. The ball's in y'all court. Show us how. I just want some precepts, man. Show me how he got that key, bro. Show me how he had the power over life and death, bro. And show me how, because Revelation 9 is clearly talking about Israel. Show me how World War I got.
There's so many hiccups, like.
I mean, World War I, it got to do with Israel, the state of Israel, with the false Jews.
Exactly. Winston Churchill.
That's about it.
That's about it.
That's as close to Israel.
Because that was actually when World War I was the setup for the Holocaust.
Right.
Okay? If you know the history, that's the whole reason from World War I. That's the whole reason why Hitler put all the Jews in a concentration camp, because all the Jews were the presidents of the financial institutions in Germany. Okay? So he rounded them up and put them in a concentration camp where he can watch them and keep an eye on them.
Trying to stop their reign, basically.
That's it. But he still didn't treat them inhumanely.
No, he was just trying to control them.
And they was boycotting German products. So they was boycotting and they was not buying German products, which put a halt to the economy.
That's right. But
see, Hitler gets such a bad name.
He actually was a good.
Because Hitler built up Germany.
He was
if you was in Germany back then, you would have hailed Hitler too, because he did so much, and he knew who the real Jews were. He knew who the false Jews were. Right.
He basically made Germany great again.
He did.
Right.
He did.
Basically.
And what's crazy is we know that Hitler was also a so-called Jew, right? But you got to remember, just because they are the same bloodline, it says Satan goes against Satan. And also, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you have one man get this power, don't marvel not if he turns on you and try to take what you got. Same thing happened with Muhammad in the Vatican. It's funny how that whore been around for so long. America wouldn't even thought of when that was going on. But this is the whore that has all the bloods of the prophets. But we know the Vatican slain millions and millions of Israelites in the name of Catholicism. How did South America and America get conquered? Catholicism. 1.5 billion people.
And still having a lot of information under the fucking Vatican.
In their vault.
And check this out.
Oh, and guess who they bank with? Rothschild.
And Christopher Columbus was a so-called Jew, but he made sure when he came here, his men had to wipe Jesus
and teach Catholicism.
Now, why is that?
Hold on, he brought a Hebrew translator, but then brought Catholicism instructors. That's mystery Babylon, confusion. We'll get into that too. We got a long weekend coming up. So this is Revelations 9. This is the first woe. Don't worry, we'll get into the woe, second woe and woe 3. Okay?
Hey, if y'all come up with Kaiser Wilhelm, y'all gonna have to show us the Ace Hardware. He got that fucking key cutter too.
Right? And that must be a big ass key. Y'all got some homework. We gonna give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Show us how Kaiser got that key, man. Shalawam.
Shalawam.
As I said before, stay away from these Hebrew Israelites. Stay away from these cults. Stay away from these Hebraite cult leaders. They wish to do you no good. They only wish to do you harm, cause chaos, cause disease, and in most cases, people, cause death.
All praises to Yahawah! BAHASHAM! YAHAWASHI! For the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Fuck your camp, man.